Bro-hee-hees and bro-ho-hos. What is going on? Bro-her-hers. Thanks for tuning in, and I'm glad you're here so you can check out a few of the tips and tricks I've got for the upcoming 3 shows. Right now, the guys are just getting off the cruise ship. Not that cruise ship, that cruise ship. This place looked like an amazing place to be for a few days. I hope the guys had a really good time. I know that there was a lot of logistics involved in getting everything onto the boat. Hopefully getting everything off the boat was a lot easier, and they could just disembark and come back home and chill out for a few days. When you take a look at some of the pictures from this boat, it looks like eggs were served every day, so that's a good thing. Eggy as fuck. They had a nice big fruit table there. And then, speaking of serving up, we gotta give a shout out to Mike Rothschild for continuing to serve up those set list on green eggs and fam while the band was jamming out on the boat. Mike was back here doing his reporting to make sure that we all knew what we were missing out on. So thanks, Mike. Take a look at that choose your own adventure set list with all those people that sat in. Looked like a really good time. I was expecting them to break into Taste the Biscuit there for a minute. But anyway, yeah, hopefully they can get off the boat no problem. And that leaves us to 2 weeks from today. We're going to be waking up 1 show into the 3-show set that is that weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, March 14th, 15th, and 16th. The guys are playing 2 shows at Nectar's in Burlington, Vermont, and then 1 show at the Portland House of Music, otherwise known as Foam. So, the drive to Nectar's from Central Mass is about 4 hours. I'll throw a map on the screen here. And from where the band is home base down in southern Connecticut, it's probably a 7-hour drive. So it's going to be a good day for them that day. Maybe they're coming up a day early, don't know. Either way, it's a 7-hour drive for the band, probably about a 4-hour drive for people coming from Central Mass. A number of different ways you can go, but they're going to Nectar's. Nectar's, back where it all began, right? So we all know that there are many bands that have gotten a great jump start or uplift or springboard from this place. It's got legacy, value, and it's just an interesting little dive bar. Burlington, Vermont is on the beautiful shores of Lake Champlain. It's a great little city. There's a lot to do while you're there. If you've got the time, get to the city early, and there's plenty to do. There's a little place called Church Street, and the hotels that are nearby, there are hotels nearby the venue, close enough to walk, that you can also see the lake from, which is pretty nice. And also, between those hotels and the venue is a little place called Church Street in Burlington. Church Street is a couple football fields long, kind of like an old cobblestone road that they've closed off to traffic, and it's got tons of little shops, restaurants, places like that. Just a nice stroll. Hopefully the weather will be good while we're up there, middle of March in Burlington, Vermont. We're up on the Canadian border there, right on the lake. Last month when we went up to see the Brownstein Family Band, it was absolutely stupid cold up there. So if you are coming up for the shows, dress warm. You never know. Could be beautiful, could be absolutely stupid cold. Speaking of stupid cold, how about stupid hot? There was a really good coffee shop on that Church Street called the Cosmic Grind. They had some really nice themed lattes, so if you're up there with a friend and you want to go grab a coffee, or even alone, go to this place. They're like-minded individuals, shall we say. Yeah, go to this place, Cosmic Grind. It's highly recommended by me. They had excellent lattes the few times I've been there. Great coffee. excellent barista, and just a cool themed little place to be. It's just right around the corner from the venue. They got some nice artwork in there. So back to Nectar's, where it all began. This place is kind of a divey little place, and when you get there early, you can just walk right in, and they got a menu so you can order food and stuff. But what's it look like inside? Well, here's a picture. I'm not sure what band this is, but this gives you an idea of how the stage is set up. That's kind of like somebody standing up kind of high taking that picture. So there's like a little sound booth right next to the stage, and then you just have an open room with a curved bar behind it. It's a pretty small stage. You can get right up close if you like to ride the rail. There is no rail. You can reach right out and strum Jake's or Mike's strings if you want. Probably even reach your hand in and touch Donnie's keyboard. Nectar's has good food. Oh yeah. Capacity in Nectar's is 220 officially from, there's this website called Indie on the Move, which I'll link down in the descriptions, that has venue information for all of the places that Eggy plays. So if you're curious about how many people it holds or anything like that, you can always go to that website and see what's up. And I'll use that for the Portland House of Entertainment too. But one word about Burlington and Nectar's and that street that they're on is pizza. There's two pizza places right next to Nectar's, one on each side. On the left-hand side, you got Paisano's, and on the right-hand side, you got Mr. Mike's. Now that piece of pizza is just a random piece of pizza I got off the internet, but it's comparable to what they serve there. They've got some really good pies. My wife likes Mr. Mike's, and I like Paisano's, so we usually go to both. And it's a good place to grab a sandwich and throw it in the car for after the show if you're going to be up late and there's nothing open. And one quick word on Burlington. There usually is several homeless people in the Church Street and Nectar's area. And so my wife and I always like to make sure that we're conscious of that. If you see crackers or things sitting around on like mailboxes or trash cans, packs of crackers, that's people that are leaving them there. You can always buy a bottle of water or something and give it to somebody. Tip number 1, Cosmic Coffee. Tip number 2, pizza. Tip number 3 is side quest. You know, the journey's where it's at, right? And so Burlington, Vermont is home to the world's tallest filing cabinet. So now, don't just not go because you just saw it in that picture. It's only a few minutes south of the city, and it's definitely worth checking out just to say you were there. It is about the journey, and so if you've got the time and you get there during daylight, check it out. There's no shaboozing in Burlington, so pizza's probably your best bet. After 2 shows in Nectar's, we are off to Portland, Maine. Portland, Maine is 260 miles, which I think I have it up there on that chart. Those mileages are from venue to venue or from Central Mass to the first venue in the trip. Either way, interestingly, the journey is where it's at again. And if you go to Google and search for the drive between Burlington, Vermont and Portland, Maine, you'll see in this map that no matter which way you go, it's 4 hours and 14 minutes. Now, my wife and I have put a lot of miles under us on the following Eggy around, and I will say that 4 hours is going to take a lot longer than that. Even if you're just averaging 50 miles an hour on these roads with stops and stuff like that, that's about what we end up at. It's going to take 5 hours or more. Either way, take a look at that map again. No matter which way you go, whether you go like right through the heart of the White Mountains, north side, right through the central White Mountains, or if you skip the White Mountains altogether and go way down into central New Hampshire and then back up the coast, still 4 hours and 15 minutes per the Google machine. So, Portland House of Music and Entertainment, affectionately known as PHOME, P-H-O-M-E. So Foam seats 300 people. It's a good venue. It's modern. It's not kind of divey like Nectar's can be seen to be. There's a little picture of what it looks like outside the venue for parking. And here's the pro tip for Portland is that on-street parking in Portland is free after 6 p.m. So the parking garages around the venue are going to charge you $5 or $6 an hour, and they close at midnight. Now, I'm pretty sure there's not a lot going on in Portland after 11:30 or so, so you should be plenty safe, but what happens if you don't get to that parking garage by midnight? I'm not sure. Park on the street is free after 6. That would be my pro tip for you guys coming to Portland, is to find on-street parking and then not worry about it. So what else? 2 weeks from now, we'll be waking up one show in to the 3-show run that is the first part of the March tour. The stage in Portland is slightly elevated, if I recall, and the room is a little bit bigger than Nectar's. Again, getting my information from India on the Move on venues and capacities, things like that. So that's all I got for the first 3 shows in March. I am still in awe of the Oxford show, still listening to it. I do plan to try to break that down, although they're probably going to top it between now and then, and there'll be something else to get into. Oh, and while we're just, while I got this behind me, just real quick, this is how I keep my tour straight when we're following them. So I have columns for whether or not we have tickets, columns for the type of ticket, print or paper, the hotels, reservations, whether or not we have them, the venue, and then over here I have date and day of week, so I want to know what day of the week it is. If it's a Wednesday show, a Friday show, what's going on there. Kind of helps me see when they skip a night too, and I know if I got a little extra travel time. So I'll do a full breakdown on this board and how I run my stuff when it comes to following the band. I'll do that in a later video, but until then, thanks for tuning in to Urfi, Eggy Reviews for you, where we review Eggy shows, give you pro tips on the tour and stuff like that. And by the way, I am not sponsored by anybody. The band doesn't ask me to do this or anything like that. This is just driven by pure passion, and I'll keep doing it as long as I got the time and energy. So who knows, could flame out any day. But until then, like and subscribe, and peace out. Portland House of Music and Entertainment only seats 300 fans. That's only seats 300 fans, not 300 only fans. Sorry. Either way, it's interesting that distance is so